Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for viewing this video. Before we get started with discussing the contents of the video, I wanted to introduce my nonprofit, the Accelerated Training Program. Our vision is twofold. First, we want to expose all marginalized groups to cybersecurity education, as well as removing the systemic exclusion of cybersecurity education to marginalized groups. Our website is www.t-atp.org. And if you would like to partner or want to learn more, please visit our contact page where you can fill out your name, your email, and a message, and we will get back to you. And again, thank you so much for viewing the contents of this video. Please check out the nonprofit when you have a moment, and let's get to the video. Hello, and welcome to day 9 of Advent of Cyber. And it looks like we're in a new section of pivoting called Deck the Halls. Okay, let's review the story. Because of the recent incident, Santa has asked his team to to set up a new web application, Web is Life, that runs on Docker. It's supposed to be more secure than the previous one. Getting tongue tied. But better safe than sorry, right? It's up to us, McSkitty, to show Santa that there may be hidden weaknesses before the bad guys find them. Okay, so here's a note from Try Hack Me. This task is a bit more complex, so if we need help, we can reach out to them on Discord, where they have a dedicated channel for Advent of Cyber, and the staff will help. Try Hack Me's great. So um, I don't anticipate we are going to reach out to the Discord, but just FYI or PSA, there is a Advent of Cyber channel and Try Hack Me's Discord. Okay, learning objectives. We're going to use Metasploit and Meterpreter to compromise systems. I don't know what's going on with me this morning. I think I need coffee. Network pivoting and post exploitation. So, what is Docker? Docker is a way to package applications and its associated dependencies into a single unit called an image. Then, with this image, we can share it and run it as a container, either locally or remotely. So, locally as a developer or remotely on a production server. So, Santa's web application and database are running in Docker containers, but only the web application is directly available via an exposed port. So, if we do not expose ports, then if we send our container to a server and we don't expose any ports, no one can interact with our container. So we have to expose a port for others to access our container. A common way to tell if a compromised application is running in a Docker container is to verify the existence of a .docker environment file at the root directory of the file system. So this might be important, so let's hold on to that. So what is Metasploit? Metasploit is a powerful penetration testing tool for gaining initial access to systems, performing post-exploitation, and pivoting to other apps and systems. So Metasploit is free, open source, and is owned by Rapid7. So what is a Metasploit session? So after successfully exploiting a remote target, with the Metasploit module, a session is often opened by default. These sessions are often command shells or interpreter sessions, which allow for executing commands against the target. It's also possible to open other session types in Metasploit, such as SSH or WinRM, which do not require payloads. So we have some common commands here. So view sessions. To view a session, we type sessions. If we want to upgrade to the last open sessions, we'll say sessions -u and then the session number If we want to interact with the session, is sessions dash I and then the session ID. And if we want to put our current section in the background, we'll just enter background. So what is the Meterpreter? So this is an advanced payload that provides interactive access to a compromised system. So Meterpreter supports running commands on a remote target, including uploading, downloading files, and pivoting. So here's some useful commands for Meterpreter. Sysinfo to get the system information on the remote system. If we want to upload a file or directory, we use the upload. If we want to display interfaces, is ipconfig. And if we want to resolve a set of host names, which is useful for pivoting, which we will do, we will use resolve. Okay, we should note that normal command shells do not support complex operations such as pivoting. In Metasploit's console, we can upgrade the last open Metasploit session to a Meterpreter session using sessions-u-1. Okay, you can identify the open session types with the sessions command. If you are currently interacting with a Meterpreter session, you must first background it. So in the following example, we have two session types, a Unix shell and a Meterpreter Linux here. So we see the session ID is 4. We have the Unix shell here, and here's the connection, and then we have a session ID of 5, and we have the Linux Meterpreter. And with the www data, I'm pretty sure we're looking at a web server at this IP address. So what is pivoting? Once an attacker gains initial entry into a system, the compromised machine can be used to send additional web traffic through, allowing previously inaccessible machines to be reached. So, for example, an initial foothold could be gained through a web application running in a Docker container, that's going to be useful, or through an exposed port on a Windows machine. So this system will become the attack launchpad for other systems in the network. So you could think of this as the initial point. We can route network traffic through this compromised machine to run networking scan tools such as Nmap or ARP to find additional machines and services which were previously inaccessible to the pen tester. This concept is called network pivoting. So this is a great example. So this is us, and we found a compromised container through an exposed port. And this container, if it's on a server, that means there are other machines or other containers on this network. So this initial compromised container is our entry point into the network. And so once we have this compromised container, what we're going to do is we're going to use Nmap to see what other ports are open, and ARP to see what other machines are out there through the MAC address. And then that's going to expose these these other two containers in this other machine. So from there, we can see, okay, if we want to go to container 1, we could see what, it's like container 1 has a web server open. So we're going to pivot from this compromised machine to this one here, and then we can enumerate and see what other security vulnerabilities or goodies are on these other machines. But it's how it works. Again, we start as the pen tester. We gain our initial entry point through this compromised container because there's an exposed port. This container is on a network. So then what we do is we scan for other machines. And in this example, we have 3 other machines on the network. And then we could start using Nmap to see what ports are open on these other machines and containers. Okay, so excuse me. For this task, we'll be using a Kali machine. So this is pretty much the attack box. Okay, so with using Metasploit, we're going to use the command MSF console, and that's going to bring up the Metasploit framework console. And then from here, um, there are multiple commands available. Search Laravel. So this is actually searching for a module to see if it exists. Load a module with the use command. So we're going to use the module ignition Laravel debug RCE or remote code execution, and then view the information about the module, including the module options, description, CVE details, and we do that with info. And so after using a Metasploit module, you can view the options, set options, and run the module. So show options lets you know what options are available. We're going to set the target host, so that's our host, remote host, and then we provide the IP, and we're going to set verbose to true, which means we want logging. So then we set the payload for the listening address. So this is the IP address of the host running Metasploit. So that's us. So this L host is localhost. We show options again to see if we need to add or create add any more variables. We're gonna do a check and then run the module. So we could also just, instead of saying check run, we could just say run. So here we're using the Postgres SQL, the admin Postgres SQL, and we see that it's running Postgres with the user password at the machine. Well, we're going to get the machine IP, and it's going to show us the version of the SQL we're running. So for instance, running this against IP address 172.28.101.51, we see the version is Postgres. Am I saying post? Yeah, it's post. Yeah, Postgres. So this Postgres SQL 10.5, and it's giving us all the information. So Alpine 6.4.0, which is probably Linux distro, and so it lets us know that the module completed successfully. Now to pivot. Okay, so we have our initial foothold, and now we want to see what other machines or containers are available and then start going to those. So Metasploit has an internal routing table that can be modified with the route command. This routing table determines where to send network traffic through, for instance, through a interpreter session. This way we are using interpreter to pivot, sending traffic through to other machines on the network. So note that interpreter has a separate route command, which is not the same as the top level Metasploit's prompts route command described below. If you are currently interacting with the interpreter session, you must first background it. So we have routes, and we're going to add or remove subnet, network mask, and com or SID. So here we're going to add a route 172.17.01, a network mask of 32, and -1. So because that's our last session. Okay, so this is SID is a session ID. Okay, so then we want to configure again. We're going to add a route 172.28.10.48, network mask of 29, session ID of 1, and then we're going to output the routing table. So we're gonna print it. Okay, a SOCKS proxy is an intermediate server that supports relaying networking traffic between two machines. This tool allows you to implement the technique of pivoting. You can run a SOCKS proxy either locally on a pen tester's machine via Metasploit or directly on the compromised server. In Metasploit, this can be achieved with the auxiliary server SOCKS proxy. So we have that. We're using this module, and then we're going to say this server host is our local host. Our port is 9050, and our version is 4A. And then we could use tools such as curl to send requests through a SOCKS proxy via the proxy flag. And that's what we're doing here. If the tool if the tool does not natively support an option for using a SOCKS proxy, proxy chains can intercept the tool's request to open new network connections and route the request through a SOCKS proxy instead. So here, proxy chains, nmap, and then we have ports 2280, 443, and 5432, and we're going to use that to funnel the traffic. Okay, if this is the walkthrough, I don't want to see it. Okay, hold on. So let me start the machine. And I'm also going to start the attack box. We're going to use Kali. We need to use Kali Linux. So I'm going to start that. Okay. Okay. I'm going to try not to look at the walkthrough. So let's go. So I'm going to open a terminal. What is our IP? Okay. 10.184.228. Okay, so we have one port open, 80, HTTP, and Apache. So, because I don't want to look at the walkthrough, so I'm trying to go very fast. So, port 80, Apache. Oh, no, that's okay. Wait, I think I know what it is. Okay, so let me open. Okay, so let me go HTTP 10.184.228. And I'm going to open the network tool here. So where's the developer tools? Okay, more tools. Okay. I'm going to go to the networking tab. And I'm going to refresh. Oh, no, that's not. Can I not pop this? Okay. Oh, I don't like. Okay, let me make this bigger. I'm trying to find a way to pop this out. Separate window. Okay. Okay. To make this bigger. Okay. So let me show you what I did because I'm moving a lot because I love web. So we're in Fire. We navigated to the web server that is open on port 80, 10.10.184.228. I'm going to go to developer tools. So in Firefox, the way you can do that is click the three lines, more tools, and then web developer tools. We want to go to the network tab because we want to see everything that's loaded from this website. So I'm going to hit the refresh. And where did it go? Okay. And then we have this file here. I'm going to click here because this is just an image. So this is our document. This is the document here. And so we're looking, we got a status of 200, which means it's okay. It loaded. we're using HTTP version 1.1. And if we scroll down from the response, we see some headers. Cache control, so if we want to cache um, or save a version of the website, the connection, content encoding, content length, content type, the date, keep alive, the server, which is Apache, and that was also shown here, 2.4.54, 2.4.54, and we see here XSRF token, and then we see we're seeing setting cookies. So this is normal cross-site request forgery token, but this is not. So this Laravel session. So if I had to guess, what is the framework? The framework is Laravel, and we also see that at the bottom here. So Laravel. Laravel version 8.26.1, and we're using PHP version 7.4.30. Okay, so what CVE is the application vulnerable to? So what we're going to do, we're going to copy this. We're going to go to Google. I don't know if I can, let me see. I don't think I can go to Google from here. Okay. And we're going to paste this and we're going to say CVE. And because we're looking for CVEs related to Laravel. Okay. Let's do a find. Okay. Okay, so Laravel through 8.7.2. So we're using 8.26.1. So here does not sufficiently block the upload of executable PHP content, blah, 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 blah. So let's see if it's this. CVE 2021 42 or 43617. Okay, not that CVE. Um okay, because I see a lot of them. Okay, hold on. CVE 2021 21263. No. Okay, I'm gonna look at a hint. Okay, so as an application vulnerable to, huh? Did we? I want to use this here. I don't. Okay, so MSF console. Because we're gonna start Metasploit. Okay, I think we can answer some of these other questions. What command can be used to upgrade the last open session to a interpreter session? So sessions dash u dash one. Okay. What file indicates a session has been opened? Docker environment, if I can spell. What file often contains useful credentials for web applications? The environment file. Okay. What database table contains useful credentials? So I wonder if we need to start. No, I don't want to look at that. Okay, so I'm going to say search Laravel. Okay, I'm going to use this multi. Why is this not working? PHP. Oh, because I forgot exploit. Okay, exploit multi PHP ignition debug RCE, and I'm going to say info. Okay, let's see if this is the CVE 2021 3129. Is that the one I had? Okay. Hmm. That's really weird that I do not see that here. 2021. Okay, I'm going to go on a quick tangent. So, okay, so I'm going to go to CVEs. Because usually you can go to this site and see it, but 2021 3129, I don't see that here. I wonder if it was remediated. That's really weird. Okay, I'm going to move on. Okay, what database table contains useful information? So let me close that. Um, okay, so we're going to actually use. Okay, so let's set the R host. Oh, I should have copied down our IP. So 10.10.184.22.228. And I'm going to do info again. Required, yes, that means things that we need to fill in. And I'm going to say run. Oh, okay. Where's the options? Show options. Okay. So show the options. We didn't complete everything. So the L host is that's our local machine. So that is 10.10.2.17.111. So let me do that here. Set L host 10.10.2.17.111. Yeah, I'm going to say run. Okay, so it appears to be vulnerable and the shell was open. So this is our local host. This is going to our machine to the actual web server, and it's Metasploit is doing its thing. Okay. Oh, I think it's waiting for a command. So who am I? So yep, we're on the server. So when you see www dash data, that means we're on the server. So there seems okay. Hmm. Because I was looking for the environment because it's because I saw something. Check. Okay, so we're listing. I don't think this is it. Okay, no. LS. Okay, so because I. Okay, I was trying not to look at the walkthrough, but I did. So where are we? So if I go back one, yes, I was looking for the environment. So I wonder, locate. Okay, so I'm looking for this environment file. Um, okay, so if I cat environment, excuse me, this environment file has all of the passwords, and we're looking what database table contains useful credentials. Okay, hello everyone. We're back in lab 8 or day 8. We didn't finish and we need to finish all of the challenges before Christmas. Okay, so I am currently in our Kali Linux machine and I am looking at the environmental file. And remember, this shows us, for instance, the database connection, the host, um, the port, the database name, and the username. So let's see. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to no. I want to. I'm gonna put this in the background, and I'm gonna say sessions. Okay, then I'm gonna say sessions dash u dash one. So I want to update this to a meta interpreter. Okay. Okay. Okay, I want to interact with our interpreter. Okay, I'm gonna say sessions, background. Yes, sessions. So if I say resolve, what was this called? Web service database. Um, okay. So what I want to do. Okay, so we did that. Okay. We have the username and password. Postgres. So what I'm gonna say use admin Postgres because we figured out it was Postgres before. Postgres SQL. I'm gonna say show options. And I'm gonna set our host to okay, I'm gonna say okay, sessions dash dash two. Okay, so I'm in the interpreter, so I'm gonna say resolve because okay, this is really weird. Why is it? Okay, that was really weird. Okay, so in we have the database hosts because what we need to do is we need to pivot. So what we're going to do is we're going to resolve this DB host web service database because we need to get its IP. So I want to say resolve web service database. Okay, so that gave us our IP, which is 172.28.101.51. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a route. Okay, I'm going to say background. And I'm going to say route add 172.28.101.51.32. Okay, so I'm going to say route print. So it was added. It says invalid gateway. I don't know why it says that. Um, okay, so we put it in the background. And I wonder if there's another that I need to add. Let me try 172. Route add 172, 28, 101, 132, 2. Route print. Okay, well, let's see if that's enough. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, we might have to add another route. We'll see. Okay, so if we say use admin, uh, Postgres, Postgres SQL, show option, show options. Okay, set database to Postgres. I think that's what the database was called. Let's look. Yeah, Postgres. Okay. So run. Oh, set our hosts to 172.28.101.51. Run. Okay. So we see that it gave us the version. So I'm gonna say search Postgres SQL. I'm gonna search Postgres. Okay. I'm gonna make this bigger because our question is we need to dump. We need to find uh we need to start dumping the database. So out of all of these, I'm gonna do this auxiliary scanner Postgres schema dump. So I'm gonna say use auxiliary scanner Postgres schema. Okay, I'm gonna say show options. Okay, set our host to okay 10, 10, 103, 113, and I'm gonna say run. Oh no, set our host to the 172. 172, 28, because 101.51. 101.51. Okay, 101.51. Run. Okay. Yes, because, and we got that, just to be clear, we got that from when we was in Meterpreter and we said resolve web service database. And that web service database came from our environmental file. So that was the database host. Okay, so let's see. It dumped. So which table looks like it will help us? Let's see, because we said we wanted to dump, right? We have users ID, users, and users P key. So I'm gonna say users. Okay. So now search Postgres. So now we need to dump the password. Or we can use admin. Hold on. We don't need to do that. I'm gonna say oh Oh no, why I did that. Use admin post. Okay. Postgres. Postgres SQL. Show options. And I'm going to change this to set SQL select star from users because we know that's our database. That's our table. So now I'm going to say run. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't even need to do this because we had the users. We just needed to change the SQL statement and we found Santa's password. So it is okay. Okay, now we need a pivot. So how are we going to pivot? We are going to okay, so we added the route. So now what we're going to do, we're going to use auxiliary server and then socks proxy. And we're going to show options. Run serve host. So we're going to set it to localhost, service port 9050, and then version 4A. Okay. So let's see. Open a new tab and I'm gonna say curl proxy socks 4A localhost 9050 HTTP 10.10.103.113. Okay, what did I get? Okay, looks like I got something. Okay. Okay. So, okay, looks like it started. So if we, okay, I'm gonna say proxy chains in, uh-oh. So the dash PN is pinging. So we're gonna say 2280.443.5432, and then our IP. Okay. Okay, it only says one is open, but I believe two should be open. I want to say 22 and 80. But why is 22 not showing for me? Oh, because I did the wrong one. I wasn't supposed to do 1010. I was supposed to do the 172. I keep forgetting because we're pivoting. Okay, 172, 28, 101, 51. Okay, did I mess up somehow? Oh, because, okay. No, okay, and I'm kind of cheating at this point. So I had to, okay. Okay, all of it is closed because we need to do a route add of 172.17.0.132, and I'm going to say 2. Show routes. Uh, go route print. So it didn't add. Okay, so it looked like we had to add that, and I didn't pay attention. Route print. Route print. Okay, this is show. Okay, so I'm gonna say sessions. Okay. 20. Route print. Okay, so it was added to session 3. Okay, so now I'm going to go here. Okay, 2280. Okay, so now what is the root flag? Okay. Okay, looks like let me say search SSH. Okay, so I am going to cheat, and because there's a walkthrough, so let me see. Okay. So if I say set our host 72. So the R host will be 172.17.0.1 because SSH is open. 17.0.1. Show options because we're trying to see. Okay, we set the R host, we set the port, which is 22. Okay, we're gonna say run. Uh, did I miss a step? Oh, we had Santa. Set username to Santa. Set password to because we had a password. Let's say that we can use this password. Let's say Santa is not being good and he's repeating passwords, which you shouldn't do. Okay, now run. Okay, we got in. Okay, so Santa was being naughty, but why can't I? It's something I'm missing. Oh, okay, because it looks like we have SSH root. Yeah. Okay, sessions. Oh. Okay, so ls. Okay. Okay. So let's try hack me 47 C6 1A 0 F A 8 7 3 8 BA 77308 A 8. Okay. A6 00 F 8 E4B. Okay. So this was a lot. This was a lot of moving parts. If we want to learn more, we can look at compromising Active Directory. I will admit I really don't mess with Active Directory, and I've done very basic things in Metasploit. So this was very interesting in that had to we found the environmental file, which showed us the database name, the database host name. We had to go to Meterpreter. We had to resolve that into an IP address. From there, we had to add a route to expose that so we can use Metasploit to actually interact with that. We had to add. Uh, we also had to add the route 172.17.0.1 to our packet, to our route, excuse me, because when we were trying to find the open ports, I originally was using the host, the IP address for the DB host, and I noticed that 80 was open, but 22 was not. Taking a guess, I figured that both 22 and 80 needed to be open. So then I needed to figure out why I wasn't seeing 22, and it was because I didn't expose this IP address in our route. So once I did that and did the proxy chain, we were able to use Nmap with our proxy chain and to scan for the ports of SSH, HTTP, HTTPS, and 5432. I'm guessing I don't know what that is. And then we had to use the IP address of the 172.17.0.1. So that was a lot. It was a lot of moving parts. I hope you learned something in this video. I did. I never did proxy chains or exposing of IPs, so that was interesting. So I can't wait to see you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.